People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces are curly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange, well, alright. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange.
What's happening, guys? Happy Memorial Day weekend. Get my co-host in here momentarily. Thumper, the sweaty fat guy's coming. And we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about this freaking movie I saw that I really was questioning why I was in the theater. And then I'm going to turn the show over to Thumper, who has arrived. Hello, sir.
Oh man, it's doing it again. There it goes.
Oh, there you are. Oh, you pulled the Nate. You don't have a what do you call it? Icon there.
Oh, well, I can change that.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. How you doing? Happy Memorial Day weekend.
It's a day I like to not think about, but
yeah. With the service and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not a big thing.
Yeah. So the other day, what is it, yesterday at this point, it was rainy. So I didn't feel like working on the cars. I didn't feel like I'm getting a little burnt out from doing videos because I also do the Grunt Speak shorts, and I'm just tired of editing. So it's like, let me go watch a movie. I don't feel like going to spend money anywhere else. I don't need anything, so I don't feel like going to the store for anything. So I went to go see Top Gun, and because it's been getting good reviews, and I just go to my local theater, and they don't have reserved seating. Like, you can't, it's not like an AMC or whatever. You can't reserve your seating ahead of time. So I get there, and I was seeing it was a bit crowded. So I asked the girl on the other side of the counter, I was like, how's the Top Gun? Is it packed? And she's like, yeah, we're almost sold out. I'm like, I don't want to sit in a packed theater, people talking. The good seats are going to be gone. Either I'm sitting way up front or I'm sitting way in the back. So I said, let's see what else. I'm like, oh, they've got this Doctor Strange movie. Let's see how this is, right? You still with me, Sweaty?
Yep.
Okay. So, I'm not, when I was a kid, I was a major superhero junkie.
The old comic book thing.
Yeah, it was a good, that age. I mean, we're close enough in age, I think, that, they had that first kind of generation of the comic book stuff, like the Incredible Hulk was big with Bill Bixby, right? That had come out. You had $6 Million Man. We had there was a Spider-Man TV show. Had Batman, of course.
There was Wonder Woman for a few years.
It was
kind of meh, but
you
she had like a nice rack and nice legs.
Yeah, but I was too young. I didn't even like.
I was old enough to be like,
yeah. I was just like, oh, she's a stinky girl. I don't like her.
Yeah, Catherine Bach didn't get it for me, but Linda, whatever her name was, she
Linda
got
Carter.
It for me a little bit more. Yeah, Linda Carter.
Well, she was a damn good looking woman, but I didn't at the time. It didn't register with me to really be into it. But then we had Superman, which I had the pleasure of meeting him like not long after that movie came out, and I was a little kid, and it was like, whoa, it was kind of a little mind blowing.
So before he fell off the horse?
Oh yeah. No, it was like I was 9, so 8 or 9, and it was like Superman, yeah, like the real Superman, in my head. So yeah, that was cool. And every Saturday, my dad would go get his haircut, and he'd take me with him. And the barber had tons of comic books, and I looked at every single comic book 10 times over. I like wore out his collection, that guy. And the Avengers were a big comic book. DC was the TV mostly, but the Marvel was in the comics. There was a lot of comics from Marvel, Spider-Man and Iron Man, and all these kind of not so big, well-known players on the TV and movies. When the comic books are huge, so I was really into it when I was a kid. If I was a kid these days, I would be going crazy with all this comic book stuff or comic, movies and whatnot. Now it's kind of like I'm not, like, if something's out and it's really like everybody's talking about it, you gotta see it. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll see it. Like everybody's talking about that last Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I watched the first 2 that this guy was in, and then I saw this last one, and it was pretty good. I mean, there was some woke shit in it. They worked this woke stuff into the stuff. Yeah,
they gotta have woke stuff.
Yeah, and it's just so obvious. I don't know if they do it so obviously so that they could easily cut it out when it goes to markets like China or something. But like, it's like just beats me over the head, like how clearly or they're just trying to, like, they don't think it's that big a deal that they're working the stuff in and they're changing. Like,
I don't think they don't think it's not a big deal. I think it's like their entire purpose for existing.
Yeah. Well, like, so like in the Spider-Man, the second one of the newer ones, there was a scene. I was just like, really, do we need to go there? Come on. They were in like Washington, D.C., and they were on a school trip, and the kids were all going into the Washington Monument. And this one like woke girl, she's like, I'm not going in there. And the Spider-Man guy's like, oh, why not? And she's like, oh, it was built by slaves. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't think slaves didn't build the Washington Monument. What the fuck are they talking about? Like, it doesn't. So it like bothered me enough where I had to look it up after the movie, and sure enough, it was bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are they putting in this? It's not even real, but people are going to watch that and be like, "Oh yeah, slaves built the Washington Monument." Like, why? I just, why would they be so inaccurate, like to that degree? I mean, I know you
Because
don't.
history and facts don't matter to them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I know you don't go to movies for history lessons, or you shouldn't go to movies for history lessons, but at least try to be accurate with historic facts that you're putting into movies. My opinion.
Yeah, unless you're doing something, odd like Man in the High, or what is it, Man in the High Castle?
Well, that's
Where
fantasy, and I
the
think
Axis
people.
won.
Yeah, I mean,
that
people.
that whole show just really, the cognitive dissonance was painful for a while watching that.
I watched the first 3 episodes, and I was going to go back to it. I just never. It wasn't doing it for me, so I just.
Yeah, it's hard to be like. "Ah."
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I saw the last Doctor. So here's all the Marvel movies I've watched. I watched the Iron Man ones.
Yep, me too.
And then I watched 2 of. Oh, do you have a? By the way, do you have a speaker on? Because I'm getting an echo. I just started hearing an echo.
Oh, you're getting an echo? I thought it was supposed to fix that.
You work on that while I talk. Yeah, you're definitely getting an echo. I watched 2 of the Captain Americas, the first one and the second one. And then I watched 1 Thor. That didn't do it for me. That the Thor stuff, I really thought it would, because I like Norse mythology and whatnot. Like that last Viking movie that I just watched, except for the very end. That was a good movie.
Is that the Northman?
The Northman was really good.
Yeah.
Except for that fucking end. Kicked me in the nuts on the way out. Anyway, what else did I watch? I watched Black Panther because everybody was talking about it. And it was okay.
Okay.
It was okay.
Yeah.
And then
they had the token white guys,
Yeah, of course.
And
then
the token white guy.
Like it wasn't mind blowing to me. Everybody's making out. It's such a great movie. I'm like, it's okay. It's all right.
But the thing about comic books with me, I grew up on a farm in the 80s, 70s, and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I was a teenager in the 80s, and we didn't have money for comic books because of Carter's grain embargo, right? And so getting into town and then having money to buy a comic book was just something that didn't happen. So I went to see what one of the movies came out in 2002, 2003. Was that one of the Iron Man ones?
The 2002, I think, was Iron Man.
Yeah, because
that was like the first one.
I went to see one of those, one of the Marvel ones on base in Korea. I'm 30 some years old, and it's the first time I'd ever even heard about Iron Man.
Yeah.
And my bud, he was a black guy. He just got there. He was kind of like replacing me. So he showed up about a month before I left so I could get him trained up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He was like a complete comic book nerd, just total nerd. So he's all like, talking about this, that, and oh man, this character arc, and I hope they go this way and follow it. And I'm like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's just a cool standalone movie to me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and now they've made it where it's almost like, so this one I just watched, or I'll put up we'll do a slideshow because I can't do, anytime I do freaking any kind of video, they take me off air. So let me do
even when you change faces and parody it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck.
Parody's protected though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not pushing it. Like I've been taken offline so much with these live streams. I'm playing it safe, at least for now. So
Yeah, I'm playing it safe with my comments too. Because
It's all right.
Jeez.
It's the
but
comments aren't so bad. It's the video. You start playing videos.
yeah, well,
That's really
you,
gets
you
them.
saw on my community tab what they're doing with my comments.
Yeah. Well,
You
you
know,
gotta watch your words. I
yeah,
gave you the
but
list.
well, here's the interesting thing. The guys guarding their own wallet. All right, I can see whatever the hell I want on those channels, and it shows up. I can say whatever the hell I want in the car channels. But if I go to, the political commentary ones like Lotus Eaters or something like that, nobody sees it. Doesn't matter what I say, nobody sees it.
Hmm.
So it's very selective. But go ahead with Doctor Strange here.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it was basically this woman here. What was her name? Fuck, no, I can't. Wanda. This Wanda chick
Oh yeah, she's the one that took over the entire town,
with
made them all
Doctor
slaves.
Strange. Now, see, I didn't know that because
Well,
I
that was
never.
in her little TV series.
I see. I didn't watch the TV
I
series.
didn't watch it either.
See, but that's the
Just heard
thing. They
about it.
make you like watch like the TV series, and now you got like the only way I know this chick is because I watched the last where they killed off all these people. Like they killed off Iron Man and all whatever that last one they did, where they're all charging at one another, and And
What, the
she
one where
was
they're fighting Thanos, or they have another
Thanos,
one?
right? Yeah, the Thanos
Okay.
one. So I know she was in it with this alien dude. I guess that they were some kind of love couple or something from one of the other movies that I didn't like. I
Yeah,
think The Age of Ultron or some shit.
he's like a clone of Doctor Manhattan, the same kind of guy.
Okay. Whoever that is, I don't know who that
Well,
is.
have you ever seen The Watchers?
Nope.
It's like knockoff Avengers.
Is it?
Yeah, it's actually kind of a quirky, fun little movie to watch. But
You talking The Watchmen?
yeah, The Watchmen. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about it, but it's like one of these things that it's like,
If you can watch it for free,
I'm sure it's
don't go out of your way.
I won't. So yeah, this movie was this chick mostly, this Wanda, and it's like I don't know her backstory that much, and I didn't really care. She was like, so the multiverse interests me in the theory of it, right?
Yep.
There was a show back in the 90s called Sliders with Jerry O'Connell. I think that was his name.
Yeah, I saw ads for it and saw like one or two episodes, but
I watched a lot of episodes of that one, and then it started getting stupid. Believe it or not, they had Roger Daltrey from The Who. It was like the bad guy at one point. I'm like, and that's where it was getting kind of like, we're off the track.
We're stretching now.
Yeah, but I mean, when it first came out, it was a decent show, and it was sci-fi-ish, right? And I like sci-fi to a degree, unless it gets really just dumb. But and that whole show was the theory of different universes, and this kid had figured out a way to slide between the different universes, and each universe would have like, at first it would be like a little something was different, like you drive your car on a red light as opposed to a green light, stuff like this, right? And so with each universe they would go through, they would find these differences, and they would find their alternate reality selves. It was kind of an interesting show, at least from the beginning. The first like one or two, first and second season, I would say, from what I remember. So that's kind of based in scientific theories, right?
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So in any case, so this movie has to deal with these multiverses, different universes where there's different characters. You can run into your same guy who's you, but he's evil or whatever. So this chick is like, I guess, a witch of some sort, or she has. It's like one of these things where she just has powers where she does. Hold on, I will get back to them.
Kind of like a Mary Sue.
Yeah, I have a picture of it where she's just basically doing the, hand up, and just everything just wipes, blows up in front of her. It's like, come on, let's, she could fly around, like she's basically could do everything. And that's where it kind of gets boring, when it's like a character that could just do everything, and they don't seem to have really much any weakness.
At least Luke Skywalker had to learn how to use the Force,
Yeah. Oh, you mean he didn't learn it in like within 15 minutes?
Yeah, or just like naturally. Oh, well, I'm awesome.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, we could do a whole freaking.
Yeah. That's another universe.
That's maybe that'll be another stream. You do the whole Star Wars nonsense. So she's in this other reality that she dreams of. This bad Wanda character dreams of being good, and she's a single mom to these little kids.
So brave, so stunning.
Yeah, and this was cringy. Like the kids were like singing like songs like this. This is like the song they're singing. It's like, I'll start it, Bobby. I'll start it, Tommy. Okay, we love you, Mommy. I was like, oh man, this is cringe. And
they're the most well-adjusted kids ever.
Oh
right?
Yeah, precocious and just so good.
Just completely not like single mom raised kids.
Yeah, Mom's the best. Mom is awesome. And it was cringy to me. And so she longs for this alternate universe life. So then we get this chick who is complete. This is basically what she looked like through the whole film. She's like a teenage.
She's got that stupid surprise look.
Yeah, just running around. Another one that has the, unlimited powers and can do all this stuff. And
girl power.
Yeah. And so she can get to different universes, but she doesn't know how she can get there. But like through the movie, you kind of figure out that she can figure out how to do it. And she was just annoying. But here's the fight. Like, here's where it started. Like right from pretty much the jump, was she's wearing this jacket, right? So on the jacket is, if you could see it, well, you can't see it that well in this picture, but she's got an LGBTQRST pin. Right?
Oh, she's got the little flag with the brown stains on it.
Well, here's the funny thing, right? I'll just, because I was looking up pictures and I was noticing a pattern, right? So this is, I guess, from the movie poster or some kind of advertisement.
Yeah.
Notice no pin, even though through the whole movie the pin is on this chick. And then so there's the pin where this is the one where I guess it's trans flag. Yeah. It's not the regular LGB. It's the new improved. And now, by the way, I understand they added Ukraine.
Yeah, they added
colors.
Black and brown, then they added the blue and yellow.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's another thing we can get into.
I support the latest thing.
Yeah. Not only the latest thing, but, the Nazi regime of the... Anyway, so of course, this chick, she's from some different universe. And the reason I bring up this pic, I couldn't find the picture from the movie that they were using or the sequence, but basically she has two moms. So she's kind of like Latina, and she's got two Latina moms, which is like, how many Latina Latina moms to like these two couples. How many do you think are out there in the world?
From what I know of Latin ladies, not very damn many.
Right. So it's all right. Like they're building in all this woke shit but they're dropping it in. Drop, 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 drop.
Yeah, I think I know more. I have more black friends that want to go camping than I know Latina lesbians.
Exactly. Here's the stupid portal. Makes this star pattern. It's like, oh god, is this? I was getting to the point sitting in this movie. Is like, should I just hold through this whole movie? Like, what am I doing here? What am I doing? And the funny thing is there was about 10 people in the theater. There was a father and his son, and then in the back of the theater were a bunch of high school girls, right? So this is like this movie is made for girls like this age,
Yeah.
high school age, right? What do they call it? The Sheverse, or they have some kind of name for it. This whole MCU, that's right. These girls,
where they retcon everybody into being female.
Yeah. Well, so they made this movie is pretty much, geared toward these girls. The girls were talking, like just talking and talking and talking. Until at the point, like the father with his son turned around and was like, "Can you shut up?" Or maybe he said, "Can you be quiet?" He wasn't a jerk, but. And then one of the girls was like, "Oh, this movie's stupid," and they walked out, like in 15 minutes. I was like, "Oh, there goes your audience you made this for."
Yeah.
They don't even give a fuck. So,
and then they can't figure out why movies are failing. It's like you're making movies for people that don't want to watch that kind of movie.
Yeah.
You make a guy, a movie that talks to guys, but you make it for girls.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. They don't give a damn.
They don't give a. They're changing all these movies for girls.
It's like
and the girls don't give a fuck.
It's like making a car movie for girls. They don't care.
No.
There are girls that like to race and everything, but they're rare.
Yeah. Well, Davina, I see Davina's in the chat. Yeah, are we right on this, Davina? What do you think? Here, you put if you're still here, if you haven't bounced. So yeah, they have. So then I was like all interested in this pin jacket thing because I kept finding all these different pictures. So apparently, this jacket they sell in Disney with the pin on it, but notice the pin is the LGBTQ pin and not the LGBTQ RSTUV, all that. Right? It's like
it's a conservative.
It's like whatever works for, well, I mean, first to like sell this to, this is like Disney's. Well, Disney's has basically said they're going full on with this shit. They don't give a fuck what parents think, or they're going to lose money, man.
Yeah, they're going to go in the hole.
They're already losing money.
Yeah, they're more about the ideology, though. Walt would be just, if you could hook a generator to Walt, he could power the universe with the way he's spinning in the grave.
So then I saw this. I'm like, dude, come on, dude, bro. Oh, I see Pulse Kebab. What, they take it down again? Don't tell me they took it down again. He's saying that what happened to the nobody pop vid. Is it gone again? These fucks. Hold on. No, it's still up. Still up, Polska. So, okay, real quick.
That was pretty awesome.
Oh, thanks. It took a lot of work. I was kind of pissed that they took it down. So they took it down for copyright. And I was like, hello, it's basically a different actor or a different face on your actor. Because they say like, well, did you transform this video? Because for fair use, you guys. make
Well,
it transformative, right? Fair.
Pop and
Whatever.
Bob do kind of look similar. You put Bob's hair on Pop, he kind of looks this.
I was backstage. Oh yeah, Polska, I'll come backstage. I didn't notice. I'm looking at this poor teenage kid boy who's totally indoctrinated and sucked into this bullshit, wearing this fucking jacket for girls.
America Chavez.
America Chavez, yeah. So then they had this love interest. I don't think she's like that bad looking. She kind of reminds me, every time I see her, she kind of reminds me of Jennifer Garner, who I think is a pretty decent looking chick.
Okay.
But
Not entirely sure who that is.
I forget her name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jennifer Garner, I'm not entirely sure who that is.
Yeah. Oh, Jennifer Garner was she was Electra. She was married.
Was she
to
Electra in the Netflix one?
I don't
with
know.
Daredevil, I think.
I don't know. Oh, hold on. Polska's in here now.
I guess she does kind of look like that chick a little bit.
That's Rachel McAdams, isn't that?
Yes, that's the name. Yep.
Yeah, she's the love interest for Doctor Strange.
So she's not bad, but are you ready for this one? She has this mole on her face. And this was like the first scene they're showing her. And this is literally like, you see this. For me, I couldn't stop staring at this mole for the rest of the movie.
So why didn't she get it pierced and put another earring on it?
Well, you gotta figure she's got money, right? She's probably a multi-millionaire. Like, get that fucker burned off, right?
I don't think that's how it works.
Well, it's a mole. I imagine they have. Right. So Riggs is saying, yeah, this was me the entire movie. The entire fucking movie. Every time she came on screen, I was like, what's the status of the mole? Can you see the mole in this scene? Does she have her hair pulled back? And she has one on her chin too. So, but it's not as big. The one on the side of the face is just, I think it had hair coming out of it. I mean, I was
watching it in HD.
I was so distracted by this fucking mole. Dude, I mean, she needs to take care of this thing. I don't understand. Like, nobody has said to her, like, you need to get this thing lasered off. Like, I gotta imagine the makeup department's like putting makeup on is like.
Well, maybe it's like the Dirty Dancing chick. She had that unique nose, right? And that's what everybody kind of liked about her. It gave her that girl next door sort of vibe. And then she got her nose job, and she was never in anything again because she was just like everybody else.
Well, she looks better with the nose. I mean,
yeah, she looks completely different if you see her now.
It just completely changed everything about her, and I'm all like, with the funky nose, I'm all like, I'd like to,
Nah, she never really did it for me.
Hey,
she was okay.
Nobody puts baby in the corner, okay?
Yeah. You could put baby in the corner. I wasn't. I wasn't that into her.
In the corner.
So yeah, this chick, she's got this mole, man. I couldn't stop looking at this fucking mole.
And you can't unsee it once you see it.
No. And you know who else has this problem too? And I kind of understand this guy because it would be a little difficult. Is the dude who played Batman?
Which dude?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale has this thing on his. It's like a sty on his eye. No, maybe it's not. It's like a mole, but it's like right near his eye on his nose. Like it's like right in that cavity. And I can't stop looking at it whenever they do a close up.
I was going to say, did you watch the entire movie or were you just watching the mole?
I was watching. I mean, yeah, look, I paid the money. I mean, I went to the mat.
It's not a mole. She has a tick on her face.
It was so distracting. So, So then they go to this universe, this other
It's a
universe.
very phallic bunch of buildings.
Well, see this. So this universe to me was the lefties' wet dream
Ah,
because everything was green and I mean, you could literally see the freaking rainbows
was
in the
everybody a victim?
clouds.
I'm a
No,
victim. I'm a
well, it was-
bigger victim.
Well, it was like she's the America chick had been to a bunch of universes at this point, so she's saying, "Oh well, in most universes, food is free. You just grab food, and you don't have to pay for it." And I'm like, this is such like a lefty thought. Like how do people live if food is free? Like people who work in restaurants, they just here take food.
Do you know what happens when
I don't
food is
need
readily
money.
available? You don't get machines, you don't get buildings, you don't get vehicles, you don't get technology when food is available.
Kind of like now. Well, I guess we'll find out soon when food isn't available, right?
Well, that's the thing. Necessity is how we got technology.
Hmm.
We had to have a way to store food, right? And then you had to have a way to transport food, and you had to have a way to defend food. That's where we got technology from.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's why the band right along the equator, you didn't get that kind of technology. You got pyramids and stuff sometimes, but you didn't get lots of technology because you can just go pick up the food. It's everywhere. There's no survival pressure.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, you live up here in the north like me, the weather is trying to kill you.
Stefan
Molyneux, yeah.
Molyneux did a good video about food and how.
Yeah, and they called him a Nazi.
Yeah, well, yeah. It was. I'd have to rewatch the video. I hadn't watched it in about two. He put it out about 2 years ago, where it was the northern mentality is to save, prepare for winter when their food is scarce,
Mm-hmm.
and how the southern warm weather mentality is just the food is growing on trees and we don't have to worry so much.
Yeah, it's everywhere. You just go pick it.
Yeah. So yeah, they went to this lefty. I mean, you could even see the benches are covered in green. Everything's like all nice, and I was like, this reminded me of I had one of my friends was dating this chick, and we were out at some bar, and we were having a discussion about she's a Bernie Sanders supporter. And I was like, that is the stupid, how can you support this guy? I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? And her thought is, well, wouldn't it be nice, if that's how the world would be? And I'm like, yeah, but that's fantasy world. It's not like that. You can't just give away things for free. There's a cause.
Somebody has to produce it.
Of course. But, in the lefty mind. And so this universe that they were in just kind of, to me, it was this lefty nonsense.
Yeah, see, the big problem I have with that is they like to come in and be like, okay, well, there's a building here. We're going to take it from the people that own it, and we're going to let just anybody live in it. They didn't put anything into owning or building the building, but yet they want to just say, well, it's ours now, so we're going to let whoever we want live there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing with communism is that you can't really build anything. You have to take over what's already there.
Yeah.
And then it all goes to shit, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a funny comment, Mr. Brisky.
The Soviets were really good at copying things. They weren't that good at inventing stuff.
Well, it's like the Chinese are that same way. All they do is fucking copy.
Yeah.
They don't innovate. That's why it's like when they say, oh, we're going to go to war with China, I'm like, I don't know if they're, look, they're a threat, but I don't think I think they would be, I don't want to say an easy conquer, but I don't think they're as scary as.
Well, with our current
See, that's the
situation.
problem too. It's like, yeah, our military. Like I know Pop was saying that people are
Yeah.
dropping their packs left and right. And
Everybody that's experienced
yeah,
and
that's not
knows what the
good.
hell they're doing is getting the hell out.
Not good.
All of my relatives, and I come from a family that has lots of military people. All of them are getting the hell out. They don't care how many years they have. They're gaining weight. They're doing whatever the hell they can, and they're getting the hell out. So they're just hemorrhaging people.
Oh, I bet. Okay, so they're in.
Yeah,
this,
what's this scene here?
So they're in this other universe, and they're meeting the Illuminati, who are, I guess, some kind of council of like their alternate superheroes, which include like some of these pictures are bad. Sorry, John Krasinski from The Office. Like I only see this guy as the Office guy, except for he was in that one with the aliens and the noise. You couldn't make noise. I couldn't.
Quiet. Wasn't the name of that movie? Quiet, I think.
Or the
Nah, something else. They came out with a part 2. This, I think, last year. It wasn't bad.
Actually,
But,
I like that movie. Actually, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Otherwise, like I just see him as freaking the dude from The Office. So they had Jim from The Office. They had this guy who makes like some kind of sound, can fucking kill you with his sound. And they had the Captain America, who was like Captain Britannia. And then they had this fucking girl, Marvel chick. But it was it was the girl from James Bond, who they were going to put as 007, and then people freaked the fuck out. So they got her like way the hell out of that movie. She's obnoxious. So then Wanda basically just fucking she takes, does her little here's her little super hands, right? And she wipes out the dudes like almost immediately. Like just basically she like blows this fucking guy's head off or blows up his brain. And then the Fantastic Four guy who does the stretchy shit. She basically blows his head up. And the girls didn't do anything. They're like standing there just watching this shit go down and not even helping. It's like, wait, are you just gonna watch this Wanda chick just fucking pop their fucking heads? So then
encephalitis. Poof.
Yeah.
Didn't even bother to attack her or nothing. And
well,
no,
so they did, right? So then this Captain America chick, or Captain Britannia chick, or whatever the fuck she is, goes after, but she's like throwing the shield and doing all these, cartwheels and shit. I'm like, can't this Wanda chick just pop her head like she did the other two dudes? Like, why is she even bothering, like, shooting her fucking lasers and whatnot at this chick? Like, why is there even an effort? But I guess they had to do something. And the funny thing about this poster is, like, look at the fucking shoulders on this chick. Do you think a chick has this kind of build?
And she's got a V-taper.
She does, right? I mean, this is a dude's build.
Yeah,
There's no way that's this chick in reality.
So does she have an Adam's apple and talk as deep as I do?
Maybe they're really going with the whole thing.
And a very large penis.
I'm Captain Britannia. So she basically
Michael.
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm giving up spoilers. This isn't spoiler free, so if anybody wants to watch this piece of shit,
No.
But I don't think anybody's gonna want to watch it.
Let's see, I've got somewhere between 0 and fuck all and interest.
Yeah. So, I mean, because this is basically Wanda movie. This isn't like Doctor Strange movie. So yeah, she gets basically cut in half with her fucking shield, which I thought was like, oh, okay. But now we're talking. Yeah, the Wanda chick cut her in half. I thought this is pretty brutal. So then this chick, Mrs. Marvel, again, like they're doing this whole laser beam, battle and all this bullshit. And I'm like, why doesn't Wanda just fucking pop her head? like she did the other two dudes. But I guess they got to do this whole fucking battle.
Well, it's got to be girl power. Guys are helpless.
Oh, Billy, if you remember on the agenda, like in movies and TV, they will never show like a female bleeding, get shot, or anything like that. But they'll always show men and stuff like that.
Well,
but
see,
you can't do it on media.
Now it's interesting you bring that up because the chick that got cut in half, they didn't actually show like the legs standing there.
Yeah,
and the body on the floor. They basically cut away to like you see her face just drop on the floor, and
Yeah, they can't. It's part of that agenda.
That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, so they get into this big fucking fight with the lasers and all this shit, and then Wanda drops a big ass statue on her. And I was like, well, wait, couldn't this chick? That's what kills this chick? A big statue?
She's all powerful, but she's prone to being squished.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me, but whatever. So then, this was so predictable.
Was it an Oscar at least?
No,
because nobody in this is getting an Oscar. So,
well, the funny thing is, this statue was a statue of the other Captain Marvel, that chick. The blonde. Yeah. So it was kind of fun. To me, I chuckled.
That's humorous.
Mr. Bliskin. Sharks with laser beams.
freaking laser beams.
Okay, if you go into this.
Sharks, but we got you some irritable sea bass.
If you go into this just thinking it's a comedy, it's a really fucking good comedy movie. So yeah, here's another this picture.
So we should get together in groups and go laugh at it.
Yeah. So here's this the robots go running in, and I'm like, I bet you one of the heads is gonna come flying in through, and of course when the heads comes flying in, and then she takes it and just blows it up. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't predictable at all. So then there's this whole chase. They have to get this MacGuffin book. They're all looking for this book that can give them whatever powers that they can.
I want to make a movie called The MacGuffinator.
So this
where every character is just chasing the different MacGuffin.
Yeah.
So nobody really cares.
Well, that's what a lot of the movies are nowadays, is just chasing with fucking guffins. So this is the plot holes in this movie. So this Doctor Strange guy from the first movie and from the Spider-Man movie and even from this movie, he can make portals and basically jump through wherever and go to wherever. But they do this whole chasing, running away from this chick. You can see she's chasing, throwing the doors open with her fucking special blasting arms. It's why doesn't he just open a portal and fucking jump to some other place and boom, he's gone? Or why doesn't he fucking send this chick off some portal somewhere? It doesn't it didn't make sense to me. So yeah, so then she's got to find her kid. She goes to this other universe. She wants to find her kids, and there's this whole meeting of the two separate chicks, and the bad chick realizes that she'll never be the good chick, and she basically ends up suiciding herself in the end. That's basically the end.
Who's Scarlet Witch or the other chick?
Yeah, Scarlet, this chick.
Okay.
She basically drops a building on her head. And the end, pretty much. But then, of course, the end scene, they get Charlize Theron. Well, I'm not a big fan of this chick.
Who's she supposed to be?
I don't know.
Does she have one of her boys in the movie that's a girl now too? And she wonders why nobody wants to date her?
I don't know. She just showed up at the end. She opened up some portal, and then they both jumped through the portal, and I guess that's the next movie. I don't know. I was like, this was okay. I'll say this. I'll give you the positives. They had some good visuals. They did this one part where they were kind of going from they were shooting from multiverse to multiverse to multiverse, and they were changing. So I find that interesting. Like, you know, what if you end up, okay, say if you jump to a different universe, and that universe is all underwater. Well, you're fucked, right?
You're gonna drown as soon as you get there.
Yeah, and that what they were basically doing, that kind of stuff. They, you know, end up all of a sudden like underwater in the ocean, and then they were, because they were going from universe to universe to universe. They were basically out of it into the next one and the next one.
Oh, so it's
So
like
that was
jumping in
interesting.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was.
Can't come up with
Well,
anything unique.
Well, you know what, Billy? The movie sounds awful, actually.
I did not sell it that good. No.
No.
Let me give you my $27.50.
You're not running out. Well, I saw the matinee, so it was $8. So.
Okay, so
And it was
I should
local.
go.
I felt I was supporting my local movie theater. They could stay open, show other shitty movies.
So we should go see the Top Gun movie then, is what you're saying.
So basically, at the end of the day, go see Top Gun. Well, the funny thing is, I ended up. So I went to a car show today, and I ran into somebody I know, and they were telling me that Smokey and the Bandit was playing on the big screen about an hour away from me. I was like doing the timing, and I had already set this up, and I'm like doing the timing. I'm like, oh, am I gonna make it? I'm like, yeah, if I really fucking hammer it, because it's an hour away. So I got done with the car show, came back, turned all my computers on, made sure they were all warmed up, and then no problem, put them into sleep mode, and I ran out to the fucking movies, went and saw Smokey and the Bandit, which was pretty cool because I never saw it on the big screen. I saw it on TV or whatever. Saw that, and then ran back here and just kind of slid in as I was nearing to go on.
Yeah. You were only slightly late, so.
Yeah, I just got in. I'm like, fuck. And then Thumper, you weren't here. I'm like, oh shit.
Well, the link didn't work.
You must have been. Well, so that was another thing that happened today. So I created the stream and titled it, you know, the Sheet Show of Wokeness. And then you couldn't see it on YouTube. Like, it wasn't coming up in notifications or anything. I'm like, fuck, because I put wokeness. So I had to kill that one and create a new one and not say wokeness.
So brave.
Stunning and brave, Billy.
Yeah, stunning and brave. You know, we're so stunning and brave that you can't use words we don't like that, you know, make fun of us. We can't do criticism.
It's just an attack. The world we live in, and some of this bullshit is just. People need to grow the fuck up. I mean, it's just words, right? Words don't hurt you.
Yeah, right. It's not violence,
people
right?
with like guns. Well, I mean, it just happened. People with guns and knives and that shit. That's what hurts you, not fucking words. People need to toughen the fuck up. So anyway, yeah. So I'm just reading some of these comments. Somehow you guys are talking about Johnny Anthony lifestyle. I don't know what the fuck he came into this. Oh.
The hell's John Anthony?
Yeah, right. I was gonna say
he's that guy who's, you know, I got a 1,400 lay count, and like his whole world revolves around.
Oh, the guy that Chronic was John Anthony lifestyle. Okay, yeah.
Okay, still have no idea.
Thumper Chronic roasted him. He's a jerk off.
I'll take word that he's a jerk off.
he's on camera with his own shirt on. Like he's wearing his own shirt, his own merch.
What was really funny was
okay, that's cool in car guy world. You wear your own merch in car guy world, you know.
Here's the funny thing. So Chronic was doing a debate with him, and so
I remember this, Billy.
Yeah, and he gets his one of his whores on camera, and
this is hilarious.
yeah, and then so he said something like, yeah, I would put my zinc in her, but that would be about it, or something like that. Like he was like, "Isn't my woman hot?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd blow my zinc in her, but that's about it."
No, and then he said like, no, she's not, because she's not a virgin, so I don't
Well,
value
I
her.
remember what it was. He was
That I
saying,
remember.
she was saying, the John Anthony lifestyle was claiming she's high value, and Chronic's like,
Yeah,
no, she
yeah.
isn't. I mean, just for the fact that this dude supposedly he's sleeping with 14 chicks at the same time.
Man, that's
Like
a
he's
lot
got
of
that
work.
chick. I'm right. I mean, that guy's life revolves around these chicks. That's
I
his
got
life is
better
female
shit to do.
centric.
And no, and not just that too. Like he was down in South America and stuff like that. And the reason he was down there is because he couldn't be in the States because he had charges pending.
Yeah, some kind of like rape charges or some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
I made that.
Well, I
shitty-
can give him some leeway on that because I've been falsely accused a lot.
Well, look, I get. I
But if you
understand
run, it's definitely like more questionable.
Well, I get like a false accusation. I had that happen to me in high school, actually. And I just went up to the chick and I was like, "What the fuck is your problem? You know, I've never been with you, so go fuck yourself. Don't fucking let my name cross your fucking lips ever again, you fucking cunt." I told her, I got right in her face, and she was like, I think she might peed herself. But in any case, that was the only time, luckily, that happened to me. But this guy, he's been with so many chicks that, I mean, to me, it's only a matter of time. That, I mean, he's probably in South America just because the chicks, they'll just fuck you for whatever, right?
Yeah. And
You come back here, you start doing all these chicks. You're eventually going to hit one that's going to either claim she's pregnant or you raped her or whatever.
I saw that guy and I look at him and then I look at myself and I'm like, yeah, all right. So the only way that he's getting any is going to a foreign country where you have a little bit of clout. You're attractive because you're an American.
Right. You got the American money.
I utilize that a little bit overseas too. It was very handy in Korea.
Oh, I bet. All right. So Thumper, we're closing in on the hour mark and you want some practice at live streaming. So what are you bringing to the table tonight?
Are we switching over to Thumper's live stream?
No, we're staying here.
Okay.
But it's going to be whatever Thumper wants to talk about. Come on, man. I kept it going for an hour here almost.
There are so many things we can talk about.
Pick one.
Well,
Pick anything.
You were talking about how everything was all green in that other world with the rainbow skies.
Yes.
With the rainbow clouds, yeah.
The lefties fucking fever dream.
This is something I've noticed about the lefties since I'm like big into making my own energy, which technically happens to be green because if you're making your own energy, it's going to be green because it's going to be what grows around you. They don't give a damn about the environment. They use the environment, they use green energy and stuff as like a cudgel, a way to gain power. Because they want to get rid of nukes. They don't want you making your own fuel. They want
free food.
Yeah. they want to set the prices like, Warren. And I heard that and I was like, whoa, we're just going straight up, Politburo here. But they're not environmentalists. I'm not an environmentalist, but I know a guy who is.
Thumper, how dare you?
I'm just a hot rodder with semi-auto hole punchers and drag cars that makes his own fuel on electricity because it's expensive up here. They don't care about it. All they care about is power. And in their mind, being a victim gives them power because then they can say and do whatever they want and they're justified against whoever they don't like. That's why you have the woke bullshit with everybody being, a victim. I'm oppressed. I'm more oppressed than you.
I saw a pretty good cartoon recently that was it was Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi literally up in an ivory tower looking down. And they're like, everything's great. Everything's fine from up here because the clouds, they were above the cloud layer. And just below the cloud layer was, shit was burning, riots, fuel prices. And they're like, everything's fine. Everything's
beautiful. Yeah, I can afford it. No problem.
Yeah, and
Gas can be $300 a gallon. I got no problem because I insider trade.
Well, they put a lot of lefties, and a lot of lefties live in cities, the hive mind city life,
Yeah.
And, like in China, that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to take people off farms and stick them in these artificial cities. Because in cities, you can be controlled. Right?
They control the food, the water, the power, and your movement.
Mm-hmm.
Glass towers bring prosperity.
Yeah.
Glass towers do?
Glass towers. Ivory towers, you mean?
I want glass towers.
Glass houses.
It's a line. It's a line from an Operation Ivy song. Glass towers bring prosperity. The name of the song is called Big City, actually, and that's one of the lines. But basically, it's what you're saying, Billy, of the cartoon. It's like Elysium, right? The city in the clouds.
Yes.
Where all the prosperity is and poverty is below.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, just another metaphor for it.
And all the useful idiots that are supporting them think that they'll be the ones that live in Elysium.
Right, right. You're right. And they try to get to the cloud. It's like the movie. Billy, have you seen Battle Angel? What the hell is it?
I have not.
Is that the one with
Alita.
The cyborg chick?
Yeah. Battle Angel Alita.
Oh, did I see that?
Actually, it's a really good movie. Actually,
I heard about it.
It replays quite a bit, but the story is the same. It's like the city in the clouds and the people down below, and they try to reach the city in the clouds.
When did that come out? I think I saw it.
I know it's a Robert Rodriguez film, and it probably came out maybe about like 6 or not like 10 years ago, but like 5 or 6 years ago. But it's really good, and all the CGI in it is really good too.
Yeah, I remember it. And she was like, she'd do kung fu kind of stuff, right? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah. It
was like
but it's she's
computerized.
She's graphics. She's not a Mary Sue though.
Well, she's a cyborg,
right? Yeah.
Actually, she's a chick from Mars, and she doesn't know it, so she has to like figure it out. But that's a really good movie. You guys should definitely check that one out.
Well, I always think in those situations like that, I think of that movie Snowpiercer. I mean, to me, that was like so clear cut. Like, literally the good people in the front, the bad people in the back, eating the bug bars. They want to feed us the bugs. And
and they'll send people with hatchets to put you down.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, how many different stories or different movies and books tell the exact same story?
Yeah. Oh,
well, the movies are trying to tell you what they want to do to you.
Yeah.
That's why they can't come up with anything unique or original, and it's all basically just 1984, Brave New World, and Fahrenheit 451 over and over.
Illuminati playbook, like fucking Hegelian dialogue, problem, reaction, solution.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they just have the big whole Davos and you would own nothing and you would be happy by 2030?
You will rent everything from us.
Yeah.
Is that the one where they hacked the screen when what's his face was talking?
Oh, did they? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, and they threw up Alex Jones in there. I think 4chan had something to do with it.
That's pretty good.
That would be epic.
Yeah, they got Karl Schwab.
Yeah, that's the thing. That fucking.
I'm actually coming out with a derp fake this week for him as Dr. Evil. Came
Oh,
out
that's
pretty good.
Oh, your deep fakes are great.
$1 million.
No, I literally just took one of his speeches and just made him Dr. Evil saying his speech. I mean, the guy is fucking Dr. Evil. He has the look and everything.
That's not a stretch, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't. But yeah, and then they have the World Economic Forum meeting at the same time as these Davos people. And these are the people who are making all the decisions on how shit shakes out.
Billy, these are the guys who pull the strings. Okay, the 0.0001%. As I like to call them, the gangster banksters.
They think that they run everything. They think that they are influencing everything. They don't realize that without all of us actually doing our thing, they are completely useless.
They're starting to realize that they don't have as much control as they thought they did.
Yeah,
especially with what happened with the pandemic now, and now they got this monkeypox thing.
Yeah,
Nobody's buying their fucking shit anymore.
Well, I don't know if you saw the recent one where they had done it was like a fake news story. I guess they do these drills or whatever to kind of test stuff out. And one of them was like monkeypox. They were talking about in November of 2021. It did like
Alex Jones talked about them bringing it out on, it was November, I think, of 2020. He said they're going to bring out.
You know what? Pop and Blake just did this on their Alt Tech, and they had an article to the date of May 21st that they were going to bust out this monkeypox shit, and that's exactly the day it came out.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
Yeah, no, all this stuff is predictive programming. They have to do this shit because these are fucking evil ass people, and a lot of them. Some of them are Luciferian. Some of them eat children. Some do adrenochrome and stuff like that. I mean, like, how does somebody like George Soros is still alive nowadays? And
that guy is fucking evil, man. He's a real evil guy.
And just look at him. He looks old and decrepit. How is he not dead? He looks like the Emperor from Star Wars.
I mean, he is old and decrepit. I think he's like closing in on 90, if not already.
Oh, he's 90 plus. I think he's like 93 or something. And he was a Nazi in the Ukraine too.
Mm.
Yeah, but they try to say that he's Jewish.
Right. So even if he did die, supposedly he has a son who's right behind him. That's why I say with these people, it doesn't matter. You lose one, and it's what they call it, the hydrad.
Wow.
There's another one just right behind it.
The thing that people have to remember
wearing red shoes.
Even rich people breathe.
It's true.
So that's the politest way I can put it. Even the rich and powerful have to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you know what too? They have to. Their tables are built on the backs of everybody else. So if we just flip the table on them, what do they got? They got nothing.
Yep.
I mean, that's why the Georgia Guidestone has only 500 million in the population, as opposed to what is our population now? Like almost 8 billion people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of peaking. We're going to be dropping naturally anyway.
Well, yeah, because we decided to educate women and the birth rate so low now that we're below replacement, right?
Yeah, it'll come back in about 50 to 100 years, but
yeah, it's gonna take a collapse for it to come back.
Yeah, and the thing that I've been harping on for the last 4 or 5 years, maybe 6, is we haven't had a mass culling of military age males in 80 years.
It's a good point. Yeah, no major war.
So we have all these guys that can't get laid, and they don't know why.
Well, I mean, if you
It's because of the 80-20 rule, right?
Right. There's too many guys.
if you're familiar with
Most
the
guys got off in battle or disease or accidents or whatever, and now they don't because we got a bubble wrapped world.
if you're familiar with the fourth turning,
Yes, Billy. I know. I've heard you talk about it before.
generational, yeah. So
Yeah, every 80 years we have a big shit show.
yeah. So I personally, I think I've said it before in my streams. I think we've been at war since 2020. I think China's involved. I think China has started this all.
Yeah, it's just not hot yet.
Yeah, and I think it's going to go hot.
No,
it's like
you know what?
1932, 33, somewhere in there.
I think we're a little further on.
Could be. Well, everybody's
can,
acting like 32, 33, but we're more about like 36 or 37.
That's about the time I feel.
I would say it started when Yuri warned us all.
Oh, it was
in
going
the late
before Yuri
80s.
warned us.
Yeah.
So
I mean, how did the Russians get nuclear technology?
Well, they fucking stole it from us.
Two damn traitors. I'm not gonna say what demographic they belong to, but I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. They sold the Russians nuclear technology, how to make bombs, everything.
So that was the couple that got hanged, right, in the 60s.
Yeah. Well, 50s.
Yeah, the 50s, I would say. Yeah.
And now, and McCarthy was right. There was commies everywhere, but now the commies are running the damn show.
Well, shit. I mean,
the commies are the lefties.
Yeah, like I said a stream or two ago, you got that fucking Eric Swalwell sleeping with a known Chinese spy.
And he's still in Congress.
He's still in Congress.
All the fucking
still on the fucking the I think he's in some kind of security
councils and stuff.
Council and shit. I mean, they would have put this guy up against the wall and shot him if it was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
But
if it was the 1950s, they would have hung him in the public square.
61 or 62, Cuban Missile Crisis. He's sleeping with a Chinese agent. Dude.
Done.
Stick a fork in him, he's done.
Fucking disappeared.
Yeah.
But no, he's still like he's on TV. He's like nothing's wrong. Nothing's happening.
Well,
nobody says anything.
The evil witch sold a third of our uranium reserves to Russia and then come out and tried to say that, the Cheeto.
Actually, Thumper, she sold it to Canada and then Canada sold it to,
well, however
to
it
the
works,
Russians.
whatever middleman she used.
And she's still walking around.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, shit.
The people call it a WAR, but I'm calling it a reckoning. I see a reckoning coming.
Yeah.
I see that too.
I mean, if you want to get like philosophical and a touch religious, I mean, you can't go killing all these babies and not have some kind of
it's bad karma if nothing else.
Yeah, even if you're even if you're not like into God and all that, you could turn it and say it's bad and that there's gonna some kind of universal thing is gonna come back on you.
I think the word we're looking for is a rapture.
Yeah.
Well, if you're into that sort of thing.
No, I'm not, but I'm just saying I know the word.
I think a rapture is just a wiping clean everything out.
That's
like a Noah's Ark type of deal.
That's evangelical stuff. Even when I was Christian, I was like, no.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna. But I saw this one recently. And, it's like one of these things. I have a relative smokes pot, and he's he goes on these conspiracy theory rants, and I'm like, And so this was a Paul Joseph Watson video, and who I like Paul Joseph Watson, but he was even kind of a bit skeptical about it. Whereas if you take $100 bill, you fold it that way, and the other way, and it comes up with like supposedly a missile getting launched and falling into the sea and causing a wave to
Yeah, tidal
hit the
wave.
city.
I've seen that video actually,
Yeah. So
and it does work actually. If you take the old $20 bill,
yes.
the old one, it has the Oklahoma City bombing in it.
No, I thought it was the 9/11 tower, from what I remember.
No.
Like if you fold it up into a plane shape. Okay, so it's the new $20 bill. One of the new bills you fold it up.
Yeah, but the old $20 bill has the OKC bombing building in it. And that's just funny because like I said, what's the reason why I call these people the gangster banksters, right? Because they're the people who print the money, and they print these images in the currency. It's there. It's the predictive programming I was talking about before.
Mr. Hemi says there's nothing wrong with smoking pot. Did I mention pot? Did we mention pot, or is that just on your mind?
I think, didn't you say you were smoking pot like a couple of weeks ago and you were hiring to drive balls?
Well, okay. So yes, I smoked weed. I hadn't smoked weed in a number of years, and so I had this weed that my little cousin left me.
My cousin, right?
No, well, okay. So I have it's like a second cousin, but she's more like a niece.
I remember this story, Thumper. It's good.
Yeah, so she had stayed with me for a few months. This was a couple years ago, and to kind of get away from influences, and because I have a good relationship with her. She's almost like a daughter to me, and she cleaned herself up. She was having some little bit of drug problems, and so before she left to go back home, she's like, "Here, I have this pot that I'm not gonna do it." I'm like, "Oh, good for you." And she's like, "You want it?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." And I vacuum sealed it, and I just kind of put it away, and then so not that long ago, I tried it, and oh my god, it was like I had weed when I was in high school and whatnot. But holy fuck, I don't know what they are putting in this. I don't know how people smoke this stuff all the time.
The stuff in the 80s was nothing compared to now.
Yeah, like if I can get a hold of some like Mexican dirt weed, like an ounce of it, that half of it is full of stems and seeds, I would smoke that entire ounce. But this shit that they have now, the THC went from, in the 80s, the THC count was like 2%. Now it's almost it's like above 20. It's like 22 to 25%. This shit will get you higher than giraffes' balls.
You take one rip and your couch locked. You're just sitting on the couch looking like
that's pretty much how I was. And stupid me, I put on some Pink Floyd. It really was like, woo.
It's 1977 all over again.
What album, Billy?
Oh, Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh no, you gotta play Animals. Animals is the best album they got.
A little weird, man. Animals is a little out there.
No, it's like
I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I think it's pretty good, but it's out there.
It's really good. It's like a 40-minute long song.
No,
every
what?
song just kind of blends into each other.
You know which one is actually better? If you want like a really long, kind of trippy, cool song, is fucking the Flip Side of Metal, 1971 Metal. That's the
Pink Floyd album.
Yes, that's the album that has One of These Days on the first side, but the flip side has Echoes. Echoes is an amazing, trippy ass fucking song.
What's the cover look like?
It kind of looks like a camel's head, and I don't know. It's like a trippy dippy kind of looking cover.
Okay, yeah, you know what? I know the one you're talking about, the album cover. Yeah, but Pink Floyd is fantastic. One of my favorite bands.
Oh yeah.
I think "Wish You Were Here" was the best song ever written.
That was, so they made that when So their
I like
their
that.
original singer, if you know the
Sid
background,
Barrett. Yeah.
Sid Barrett, had basically fucking melted his mind down with LSD. I mean, he was gone. Like he just totally tripped out beyond. And so they kind of shuffled him out of the band. It's kind of slowly and out. And he went to live with his mother for the rest of his life. Like he was just fucked up in the head. And people would like see him around town, like just walking, do 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 do. And but in any case, so he showed up at the recording of "Wish You Were Here," and if you see the pictures, like he was unrecognizable. Actually, the wall is about Sid Barrett, like the entire album. The whole thing with like the shaving the fucking head and the cutting the eyebrows off and everything. That was like Sid Barrett had showed up to the studio and they didn't even recognize him. They're like, who the fuck's this guy? Like, oh, it's Sid. I'll have to find a picture now.
Yeah, show us.
Yeah, let's see. Sid Barrett from.
It's funny how we
But-
go from commies to Pink Floyd.
I mean, but you know what? That's the kind of panel we are. We can go from talking, gears to conspiracies to fucking why the MCU sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, some conspiracies I have fun with. I like proving them wrong.
Some conspiracies I like to debunk, but I end up becoming one.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Wow, that's the difference.
Yeah. So he showed like this is what he used to look like there,
Jeez.
and then he showed up while they were recording. Wish You Were Here, looking like this.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, here's another one.
He looks like David Freiberger.
Totally.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a car guy.
Oh yeah, I see that. So yeah, Sid Barrett. He had this interesting voice, very British.
You don't want the point I wanted to make about "Wish You Were Here" and why I think it's the greatest song ever written is because it's like so simple and easy to play on the guitar, and I think we've all kind of sooner or later we all experienced the loss of somebody close to you. So to me, the song inspired me to learn music and pick up and learn how to play that song and sing it. And that's why I think it's the greatest piece of music ever written.
Hold on, what is you're saying? Hold on. I'm condemning my cousin for pot smoking conspiracies. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. That's how I got into the conversation. Right. Yes. So yeah, so I have a cousin. This is a different cousin, not the girl. It's a guy cousin who comes up with these. It's like it's conspiracies. It's like, oh my God, dude, come on.
I mean, Billy, how many times do I gotta say it? Okay, they're not conspiracy theories. They're spoiler warnings.
Yeah. Well, look, there's definitely some that are like, okay, I think there's truth to this, but there's a lot. I mean, okay, here we'll go. Very simply, the flat Earth bullshit. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
come on.
hold on, Billy, because I'm a flat earther myself.
Stop.
I want to know how you want to know how I became a flat earther?
How?
Because I tried to debunk it, and I spent a good 6 months trying to debunk it, and I couldn't. I'll tell you what I do believe. I do believe that the Earth is not a ball at all, and NASA's own math proves it.
If you know anything about orbits
Oh boy.
and simple Newtonian physics,
Oh my goodness.
Okay, you know what, Thumper? Do you know NASA's formula for the curvature of the Earth? Do you know what it is actually? Billy,
Not
look it
that
up
one,
right now. I'll tell you what it is. It's 8 inches per mile squared. You know what that means?
What does it mean? Please tell
Okay.
us.
So for every mile, the curvature of the Earth goes down 8 inches per mile squared. So that means the second mile, right? The first mile is 8 inches. So the second mile, you got to square it. So it's 64 inches. 64 inches is 5.2 feet high, right? Okay, so the third mile is 105 feet. So it's 20, 5.25 times itself. All right. So now the third mile, according to NASA's math, the curve goes heavier, right? And by the time you get to the fifth mile and you start to square the distance, you shouldn't even be able to see Mount Everest if you're 5 miles away, because Mount Everest is 29,000 feet and 28. So NASA's own math proves that the curve isn't there.
So then
But
why can't I see?
NASA's is based on sea level.
Yeah.
Okay. The Himalayas are on a large plateau. It's all about perspectives when you're looking at different areas and places on a curved object.
Okay.
So we're too small to actually be able to see it unless we get high enough.
Oh, you know what? This is
Because
just one.
come
This
up
is
here
just
and look
one.
at Lake Superior.
This is just one point of the flat Earth that I know that there's not a curve. We're not a ball. There's a ton of others, and you can look it up to high heaven. And the one thing you will find is there's no proof that there's a curve at all. That this is a ball. In fact, if you go into the biblical stuff or into all the ancient cultures and stuff like that, flat Earth is a regular thing. It's
Yeah, but that's because we have the technology now to. Okay, so we're.
And I have
yeah.
flown high
Like I said,
enough.
I will leave that conversation for
Hold
another
on.
part.
No. I gotta know. So how come ships don't fall off the edge?
Okay, you know what, Billy, just look up a video of a ship going off the horizon, and look up anybody with a zoom camera. If you got a powerful zoom camera, and you see the ship go off the horizon, you can zoom it back in with a camera. Proves again that there is no curve.
So why doesn't that ship fall off? Why does it end up on the other side of the world?
You know what? You're thinking about it in the ball kind of world, like there's an edge. All right, think of more of like a pizza in a box, right? Okay. You got a round pizza in a square box, right?
Okay.
The pizza has a crust, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's risen, right? The crust is risen, and everything in the middle is the earth. Billy, have you ever looked at the UN flag? Punch it up real quick and show the image of it.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
And what's missing in the UN flag?
Well, it's from what I remember. I'm not gonna pull up, but it has like there's a whole ice world or some shit. There's a whole outer ring that people talk about.
What's missing from the UN flag?
Now you're gonna make me. Honestly, I can't remember what it looks like offhand. Hold on. Google it.
Pull up the image. It shouldn't take long. Okay. And I'm sure the comments are probably going crazy too. Oh, so if you want to bring some of them up.
UN flag. You know, people are saying you're trolling. Please tell me.
Riggs, I am not trolling at all. I am not trolling at all. Bring up the image of the flag, the UN flag.
Hold on there. I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. You're talking this whole like ice world thing.
It's turtles all the way down, man.
Okay.
Bob, have you ever left the U.S.?
Yes, I've been to Poland.
You've been to Poland. You ever been to the other end of Asia?
No. Okay. There's the UN flag. Punch it up, make it bigger. What's missing from it?
I don't know if I can make it bigger here. I'd have to pull up I don't know what's missing. I mean, here's.
Antarctica's not on it.
Well, that's because we're looking from the top down.
Yeah.
So this is South America. There's the U.S. There's Asia. There's Australia. There's Africa. So
Okay, you know what, Billy? Count the. You see the spaces in between? Count them.
these 4 spaces.
Yeah. Count them all.
Count them.
How many are there?
Well, you got 8, 12. 32.
33, actually.
Oh, because are we talking about the centerpiece as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
The UN is nothing more than Illuminati, Freemason, Luciferians who believe in the flat Earth. Okay, because they don't even have Antarctica in their own fucking flag. That's
because
Earth
we're
map.
looking at it from the North Pole.
Because there's only one pole.
Oh my God,
Billy. Why do you think you can go anywhere and the compass always points north? It's because there's only one pole. If you're in the southern hemisphere, right? You should be close. You should be closer to the South Pole.
So wait a minute.
Do you understand how polarity and magnets works?
Yeah. So if you're in the southern hemisphere, the compass should point to the South Pole if you're closer to it, right?
The South Pole of the compass will point at the South Pole.
Right. And
It
how come
does.
all compasses point north?
Because of polarity.
Because there's only one pole, Thumper.
And the magnetic compass point is moving. Because there's a giant ball of molten metal that's spinning at a high speed inside the Earth.
You know what, Thumper? I got an idea for the next meetup. How about the next meetup? We all go meet at the South Pole. Do you know what it takes to get that done?
Yeah, I go to Charleston. I hop on Embassy Run and I fly down there, Space A.
No, in fact, you have to wait about 4 years. You have to run an itinerary through the 140 people who have signed the treaty, and you can't bring an engine there at all, and you have to shit in a bag because you can't shit anywhere in Antarctica.
Yeah,
that's how restrictive the treaty is.
But being in the U.S. Air Force, we do have flights that go there often.
Wait a minute. So where do people? So when they go to the South Pole, where do they go?
Do they go to Penguin Island?
So they don't go to the South Pole.
No, because there is
nowhere near the South Pole.
There is no South Pole.
There's only a North Pole. It's a long damn ways away from where they have their stuff set up on the coast. It's a big continent.
You know what, Thumper? You remember, back during the Cold War, and we have these Arctic scientific research stations, right? They've been there forever, right, since the 50s and 60s.
Yep.
Okay. How come the Russians and the Americans were still there, and yet there was a Cold War going on?
Because we had our own stuff down there. Nobody owns that place. It's like neutral territory.
Right, because you can't. You can't go anywhere near there. In fact, if you tried to go there yourself with a boat, even if you have the money of it, you will get turned back at gunpoint. And people have been arrested. So there's either something big going down there or there's nothing down there at all. Have you ever heard of Admiral Byrd's interview? I think it was in like the late it would have been in the 50s, and it's like a 45 minute interview. If you just search up Billy, if you search Admiral Byrd South Pole or Antarctica, you'll come across almost an hour-long video in the 50s. So all black and white. It's even got like a Timex sponsored video of it too that funded the whole thing. and Admiral Byrd himself admitted that there's some weird shit going on in the South Pole. He said that there's a big giant mountain of fucking coal there, a mountain of coal, and he said it's like you don't have to mine it. He just said it's like a big pile of it, and he said there's enough coal there to run power for the country for the next 100 years. And another thing he also alluded in that interview is that there's something beyond it. He said you could go past it, which is one of the strangest things you'll ever hear in your life. That's how much I've researched flat Earth.
But wait, you just told us that there is no South Pole. There is no Antarctica. That's what you just said.
That's how much it contradicts itself that it is a ball. I mean, is it a flat Earth, or do we live in a dome? Is it a snow globe in an aquarium? The Bible says that, but who's to say? Because nobody can actually go there and prove it because they'll turn you back at gunpoint.
Did you smoke weed tonight, Bob?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Hey, Bob, you're in Chicago. Drive north. Go up to around Waukesha.
Thumper,
something on the lake, and just look at the lake. Get on the shore so you can see horizon to horizon with the lake.
Thumper, I'm not in Chicago. I'm actually in Indiana, and I'm sure you guys have seen the picture.
Close to Michigan.
Okay, so here we go again with the curve, right? There's that famous picture. A lot of people have shown the weather a picture from Green Bay, and they show across the lake, and it shows the Chicago skyline, right?
That's lensing.
Okay, so what's the distance between them? Like 300 miles or something, probably
Chicago
even further than that.
Quite a bit. It's like
4
hours.
So according to NASA's own math, anything over 5 miles you cannot see. It should be behind the curve. So it just proves, NASA's own math proves there's no curve. That's all.
You realize we're not on a cue ball, right? There is elevation differences.
Yeah, and you do realize that the flat Earth isn't actually flat. There's mountains, lakes, rivers, stuff like that too, right? You know, the pizza in the box and the crust around the corner, it has cheese, sauce, and everything in the middle too, right?
You know, I've been around quite a bit of it. I've traveled extensively. I've been to both ends of Asia, Africa, all over Europe.
I'm just saying, Thumper, I don't believe it's a ball. Like the globe, the one that's in the classroom, I don't believe that's what it is at all.
So what about the moon? Is the moon flat?
The moon isn't real. It's not terra firma. You can't go there. And NASA themselves even said that they've never been there.
Stop it. Stop it.
They have said it themselves. They've never been there.
The tides go in, the tides go out. You can't explain that.
What is the moon?
Okay, the moon is supposed to reflect the sun's light, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so and the sun's light is heat, right?
Right.
Okay, so the sun's light, it has properties, right? It's antiseptic, right? You can put food in the sun's light and it'll dry out and preserve the food, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. What happens when you step into the moonlight? The moon's light is actually colder. So if you're in the shade and not in the moonlight, it's warmer. The moon doesn't reflect the sun's light. It's something completely different and has different properties. It's antiseptic or septic, right? If you put shit in the moon's light, it'll die.
Where are you coming up with that? What?
Yes. So
you're not into photography, are you?
Take any heavy zoom camera, like I said, and you can bring a ship's going off the curve of the Earth back into into focus. There is no curve, Thumper.
Every time I'm going to tell you about a phenomenon that I see on occasion up here. All right. Every time I go into town, I have to drive past Superior. Superior is a very cold lake.
Yeah.
Right. In the summer, the surface temp, the top half inch only gets to about 70 degrees.
And Lake Superior is the biggest of the Great Lakes, too.
Right. All right. And in the wintertime, it gets down to about 35, 36 at most. It rarely freezes over. You'll get spots where you get flow ice, but you don't want to go walk out there because you might end up in Canada. You'll be very dead by the time you get to Canada, but you don't want to walk out on the flow ice. Okay, there's this weird effect because ore boats are always going by. All right. And sometimes the ore boat doesn't look like an ore boat off in the distance. It looks like it's about 30 stories tall. It's because the lake is evaporating. All right. The water's coming up and it creates a lens. The light goes through it in such a way that it makes the boat look really, really tall. But the boat's not really tall.
That has to do with
effect. That's how you can see Chicago from Green Bay, because the buildings are really tall, and then you have that lensing effect, and it curves the light.
Yeah, we're talking about refraction and what's the opposite part of it? Refraction and reflection, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The same thing happens with radio waves, where you can pick up skip with a CB or a shortwave radio. You can pick up stuff on the other side of the planet because it's bouncing in the atmosphere off the ionosphere and, all the electromagnetic stuff that we can't see with our eyes. That's how you can bounce signals around. And it's intermittent. It's not like you can do it all the time.
I gotta get another beer. So you guys keep going because this is fascinating.
Okay. Hey, Thumper, do you know about Operation Fishbowl? Do you know what that was?
No.
Okay, Operation Fishbowl was when, after we developed the nukes after World War II, we decided that we'd shoot nukes up into the sky. You remember that?
That's an exceedingly bad idea.
Yeah, but we did it.
Because EMPs.
Yeah, so what would be the purpose of shooting nukes up into the sky? To test, right?
Just to see what happens, essentially.
What if to say that, say you're a blind man in a room, right? You have to go and figure out, you're a blind man in a room. You have to figure out how big the room is, right? So you go to the walls and you go around and you feel all the walls, right? And let's say you're almost tall enough to touch the ceiling, right? So you can figure out what the fuck you're in because you can't see anything, right?
All right.
Okay, so
what is the moon?
Cheese.
No. Bob, what is the moon?
According to the flat Earth people, it's just a luminary. It's a light in the sky.
Oh, kind of like the bat signal.
A luminary, right? And if you think about scientific theory, right? We have this theory now that the Big Bang shot us out, right? And we've been traveling. The galaxies are pulling apart. The Big Bang shot us away, and the stars, the planets are circling around the sun, and they're going out, out, and out, and out. And yet, for thousands of years, the constellations have all stayed the same. How is it if we've been moving for 6.5 billion years? We don't have this, constellations or new ones, right? They've always been the same. Our ancient ancestors, you can still look up in the sky and see Orion. right?
It's
See,
your frame of
Taurus.
reference.
Yeah, I mean, look, the
They've
written
always been there.
history. Yeah, but written history is very minuscule compared to. I mean, written
Most 3,000
history.
years old.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the universe is billions.
I would say our culture is even older than that. All right, like even in the Bible, we talk about the Great Flood, right? And in a lot of other ancient cultures, the Great Flood is in the collective memory of humans,
Because
through
floods happen.
throughout time, right? So I think we're a lot older than recorded time, like even before
yeah.
the Egyptians and the Sumerians and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Well,
way,
of
way
course.
older than that.
You know what? This kind of ties back to Billy, what you were talking about, like the fourth turning, right?
Right.
Is that we're constantly evolving and developing our technology, and to the point where we kind of destroy ourselves and fucking have to start anew, right?
Fermi
We're
paradox.
constantly in this circle of, you know, technology advancing, and then so much to the point that we blow ourselves up and we collectively forget that we were as smart as we were before, and we keep falling back into the cycle, right?
I can get that as a theory that, we blow ourselves up and then we reset, and a million years later here we are again in the same
Yeah,
spot,
and that,
same
and
evolution and all that. I get
and
that.
then we uncover a piece of technology that should have never been there, right? Like the Antikytherian clock and stuff like that. Or like, say the next time around somebody finds a CD that, let's say, I wrote, my greatest hits with Slayer and, speed metal bands on, and primitives find it, and to them it just looks like nothing, but to us it's a CD, and you could put it in a machine and it'll play music, right?
Well, and any advanced technology will look like magic to people that don't have that technology.
Which brings me back to the point of, so the moon is some kind of.
Well, hold on.
bad
I
signal.
got something else.
Okay. All right.
Bob.
I want to get back to this moon.
This is still astrophysics stuff.
Go ahead.
Bob,
Okay.
if you go outside right now, can you see Orion?
I am outside right now, but I don't see Orion.
Okay.
But I know it's in the southern east hemisphere.
Orion only shows up in the fall and spring. Right? When it's cold, I can see Orion. When it's not cold, when it's warm months, I can't see Orion.
Okay. Yeah. I always see Orion in the fall and in the winter. Yes.
Okay. They call them the Magellanic clouds. All right. They're two small galaxies being eaten by our galaxy. They're only visible in the southern hemisphere.
Oh my God! Now who's the conspiracy theorist now?
No, it's what happens. I mean, the Milky Way galaxy is stupid immense, right? It's hard to wrap your brain around the distances. We use light years just because it's something that we can comprehend a little bit. It's hard to imagine a billion unless you see it. So they have different constellations in the southern hemisphere than the northern hemisphere. If you had a flat pancake, the constellations would be the same. You'd be able to see all the constellations the same, unless they were so close that they're basically just like a screen placed above us, like a terrarium. Right?
Yeah, kind of like a planetarium and stuff like that.
But that doesn't explain why you can see Orion when it's cold, but not when it's warm. Here's why. Okay, as we go around the sun, okay, right now Orion is on the other side of the sun from us in our orbit around the sun. So it's daytime while Orion is up.
Okay.
So when we go around, when we turn, then we see other constellations. because it's nighttime and we're pointing in a different direction than we are when we're 180 degrees around in our orbit. You know, I mean, living up here in the north, way high above the 45th parallel, you know, I get really long days, really long nights, depending on if it's summer or winter.
Do you get
Okay.
the Aurora Borealis up that way?
Yeah, I see the northern lights in freaking July.
But Thumper, you're in Upper UP, right?
Right.
In Michigan, yeah.
Yeah, I'm way the hell up north.
All right, you're not as far as up north as Emperor or Dax are, and
No, they're further north.
yeah, right. And they don't talk about the same things either, too, you know?
Do they live in a place with no light?
I'm pretty sure during the summer and winter seasons, they probably experience the same thing, right?
Yeah, they
And
get
they're
really
further
long
up
days and
north
probably long
than you
nights.
are.
Yeah, so their days are longer. Like Dak, are you still in the chat? We'll wait and see if he pops in. Well, I'll just
Yeah, I can see these nuts.
Okay. So while we
Let's
wait
see.
to see if Dak is still here.
No, he's not here anymore.
Okay.
Or wait, I'd have to put one past. Yeah, he's still here.
Okay. I want to just get right back to real.
I want to know what time the sun's coming up and going down where he's at right now, because I know what time it goes down here, like June 22nd. Yeah. So what time does the sun come up in the middle of June around the equinox? Dak, what time does the sun come up? What time does it go down there? Because you're quite a bit further north than me.
Yeah, he's probably closer to the 50th or 60th parallel, right?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
If we live on a ball.
Yeah, because if you go to the equator, all right, the sun comes up and the sun goes down at 6 p.m. It doesn't change at the equator. Now,
okay, how many force speed says 850?
Yeah.
Is that sunset at 850? And he is on the East Coast, so
right. So how far north is Hemi force speed?
I'm not sure.
Actually, he's in
3 a.m.
Ontario.
Okay,
oh, he's in Ontario. Yeah.
June 22nd, you know, the equinox, the sun comes up about 4:45, almost 5 o'clock.
There it is right there. 10:45 p.m.
Yeah.
Give or take.
And it gets dark about 10 p.m. here.
Wow.
On that day. Okay.
Yeah,
then,
the
other way in the wintertime, okay, the sun comes up almost 10 a.m. It's like 9:30, 9:45 when the sun finally comes up here. And it gets dark like at 3 or 4 p.m. It like switches. So I have a really short day on December 22nd and a really long day June 22nd.
Yeah, right, on the solstice.
Yeah.
Right?
So my days are getting longer by 8 minutes from the winter equinox to the summer equinox. And that I'm losing 8 minutes of daylight every day after June 22nd.
Well, Thumper here in Chicago, right now, our sun's not going down until like about 7:30 p.m., maybe a little bit later. Yeah. I'm not sure what time the sun comes up because I'm not up that early.
And here, you know, the sun just went down about 9 p.m. It was after 9 that I went outside, and it was raining, so I had to cover up my tree sap. And it was still daylight. And, you know, we're still a month away from the equinox. The only way that you can explain that is a curved Earth. Because the constellations are the key. Right now, Orion is on the other side of the sun from us. So we can't see it because when we're pointed at it, it's daytime. When we go around the sun, then we can see it because we're pointed at Orion when it's nighttime. So we are definitely orbiting the sun. Then you have all the other planets, which are doing the same thing.
I'm not Thumper. I'm not denying that the sun and the other planets and whatnot, the luminaries are there, and the constellations are there. The only thing I found through my research is that we don't live on a ball.
Yeah, and the people that are susceptible to most of these conspiracy theories they don't have all the information. They have certain bits of information and they string it together without the rest of it. Okay? Like, for instance, 9/11, when the planes hit the towers, there is no doubt in my mind that the planes hit the towers and knocked them down. Because I understand 1, physics, 2, aviation, 3, metallurgy, and 4, how much the damn buildings weighed.
So you're saying a thin aluminum fuselage.
Do you know how much airplanes weigh?
Put a cartoon-sized hole in a steel and concrete rebarb enforced building.
Mass times velocity.
You know what? Mass times velocity doesn't matter if it's a bus going into a building, a steel building. When it's aluminum going into steel, aluminum's going to break first, no matter how fast it's going.
Right.
Okay.
But how much does an airplane weigh? Say a 757.
It's very light compared to a building.
Right. But it's an exponential change when you add velocity. The reason why you get big chunks of aircraft that crash while landing is because they're going very slow. They're going 120 to 200 miles an hour max. Okay, so there's big chunks of the plane left. When a plane hits the ground at 500, you get nothing bigger than your thumbnail.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because it's diving and it's going faster than its actual frame is built to handle.
The day before I left Korea, an F-16 crashed on base. He flamed out, taken off, and it almost went downtown where all the Russian juicy girls are. All right. It barely landed on the base.
Wait, hold on a second. Did you just say where all the Russian juicy girls are?
Yeah, they're juicy girls. They wear little skimpy lingerie and they come out and dance on the stage, and they come say, "Buy me juicy GI." So you buy them a $12 drink, and she sits there and drinks it while she talks to you. It's like, yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, they call them juicy girls.
Way to throw some brevity in there.
Yeah. Okay, so it barely missed the juicy girls. All right, it crashed, and you can look this up. June, it would have been June of 2003. F-16 crash at Osan Air Base. All right. Now back, when was it? There was an F-16 that went in, and it was going about 600 miles an hour. The pilot ejected, and it just face planted right into the ground. The differences in those crashes is immense. There's a hole. There's nothing left of the aircraft. The hard parts like the landing gear, the wheels, and bits of the turbine, the heavy part of the titanium shell that the jet engine is, that was somewhat intact at 700.
Yeah, usually that's the only things that are left after that. Right. But the aluminium is pretty much crushed and destroyed.
Right. But a slow speed impact, like you see, when a plane is coming in for a landing and fucks up and lawn darts, there's big chunks left because it's not going very fast. All right, that's a survivable impact. Those planes were going full throttle. They had those firewalls maxed. Right, they were going as fast as they possibly could in the thick air just above sea level. So when they hit, they punched a hole through the building. Because you look at those buildings, each floor weighed about 1 million pounds. Okay, it's really freaking heavy. So you got the floors, and they're all lined up, and you got, 40, 50 floors above the impact sites?
Depending on the building, yeah.
Yeah.
The one hit lower than the other one.
40, 50 million pounds above it. All right. The plane hits it. It makes a conical shaped hole, kind of like a venturi in a carburetor. Because, like you said, it hits it. The initial impact punches a big hole. There's a small hole coming out the backside. It's not like a bullet. So when you see it hit, it hit, and then you saw fire and debris come out the other side. Okay. If they were going for maximum speed, they were going downwind into the buildings. So they had a tailwind so they could get more speed out of it.
Yeah, but
So-
their max speed wasn't over 500 miles an hour. It's right around that sweet spot.
Billy, look up how much a loaded 747 max takeoff weight is. Or not 747, 757 or 777, whatever they ran into it. They were 2 engines, so they'd be 57s or 77s.
Is Billy even there?
This was Thumper's hour.
Okay, so you have
Thumper's hour. We just hit the 2-hour mark, by the way.
you have a conical shape, all right, and air speeds up when you push it through a conical shape.
Weight is 255,000.
Yeah, is that max takeoff weight?
Yep.
Okay, so they were somewhere between 150,000 and 255,000. Because empty, they're like 150. And these things were fully loaded with fuel. Who knows how many passengers they had on it and all of their shit. So you have all the stuff that's on the airplane and the weight of the airplane and the fuel. The fuel is the big part because fuel weighs a lot.
I think they were going to California, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I worked with aircraft and I loaded cargo on aircraft, so I know about the weight and the balance and restraint and all that stuff.
Hold on a second, Thumper. Explain how Muhammad Atta's passport landed 3 blocks away in between a building.
Because shit happens.
And so his passport just showed up.
There was probably shit strewn all over the damn place.
Okay, you realize how crazy all this sounds, right?
Yeah, but you got to look at the distance that the planes hit. All right, and
you guys are gonna get me taken off.
How are we gonna get you taken off? I'm just proving that the planes actually took it down.
Billy, we've gone longer than you showing
the Illuminati is watching.
But
one of your regular videos.
The conspiracy
Very
is
true.
not that the planes took the towers down. The conspiracy is how it happened. What was behind it? Was it just a bunch of guys that hate America and wanted to run planes into buildings, or was there more to it so they could get the Patriot Act and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Okay?
I think there was more to it.
That's the question. It's not that the planes hit the buildings and knocked them down, because I can show you mathematically how that works.
Actually, you don't want Thumper. I don't know if you've ever gone back and looked at the footage, because the footage is so dated nowadays. In one of the images, right before the plane hits, I think it's the first one, it passes by a building, and you can tell it's CGI because one of the wings is behind the building and in front of the camera. So as the plane's going through, the wing hides behind one of the buildings, right?
I was deployed to Kuwait that day. I just got off work, working at the airport, loading cargo planes all night.
Mm-hmm.
I got back to Camp Doha, which we don't run anymore. And I got into my room. I'm laying down. I'm going to sleep. They pound on the door. They say, get in the day room, right? So I'm like, what? And they're like, just get in the day room. So I go in there, and I see the first tower on fire. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, a plane hit the World Trade Center. Right. And I'm like, well, in 1945, a B-25 ran into the Empire State Building. It was a foggy day, but still, and as soon as I said that, the second plane hits. Right. And I was like, shit, we're going to war. Been there, done that, because I was in Kuwait was August 2nd, 1990.
I think all of us remember exactly what we were doing when we all got that news.
But it was very prominent to me because of what came after that and what I came home to. So and I understand aircraft and weight and velocity and all that, because I had to figure out how much restraint I needed for a certain amount of G-forces just to keep the stuff on the plane. Because I understand how much things move around when you stop stuff suddenly, when it's got a certain amount of momentum.
Yeah, right. Loading. You know what? Actually, Thumper, I'm a big fan. I don't know if you have the Smithsonian channel, but they have a show on there called Air Disasters, where they, the NTSB investigates all the airplane accidents and shit like that. So I'm just as versed at that stuff as you are, because that shit kind of fascinates me too.
But that's different than your job being in aviation.
Right. But you're the guy that's loading the planes, and you got to weight the balance out and know all the weights and the jet fuel and stuff like that. Yeah.
Planning and everything else.
Yeah.
Because we work with allowable cabin load. The plane weighs something, the fuel weighs something, the cargo weighs something. You have to balance them all so you can get the damn thing in the air. Temperature matters. C5s can't take off in the daytime in Kuwait. The air's too hot, it's too thin, so the C5 can't get in the air. They have to take off with a minimum fuel load, and as soon as they're up, then they get refueled by a tanker, just to get a C5 Galaxy in the air. Okay, there is a whole lot to aviation, and it's more than just, aluminum disintegrates when it hits stuff. It's a high strength tube. Okay, and it's pressurized, and it's got a whole bunch of shit in it.
Oh, you know what? Hemi Force Speed. Hemi Force Speed wants you to explain Building 7, Thumper.
Okay, this is actually relatively simple. The foundation for all the buildings that were in the World Trade Center complex were all connected. Okay, so imagine the towers being a large tuning fork. Have you ever been in a tall building? They kind of sway with the wind.
Yes.
All right. You hit it with a 200,000 pound aircraft doing 500 mile an hour. It's going to sway. It sets up an oscillation. Okay. They were oscillating at different velocities or different frequencies, we'll call it. So one was moving this way, the other was moving that way. They weren't together like a tuning fork. All right. They were imparting all of that to the ground in their foundation. We're talking, millions of pounds. Every floor is about 1 million pounds in the WTC. And they were over 100 fucking stories, right? So you have all that weight swinging around up there. And it's flexing the ground. The bedrock that they're stuck in flexes. It moves the bedrock. Okay, so that sends tremors to all the other buildings. Tower 7 was still pretty tall. It was taller than most of the other buildings. The other buildings don't share foundation work with the World Trade Center because it was built at a different time, and they didn't time it.
Tower 7 was not that tall. I think it's only like 11 stories or something.
Yeah, but it was still connected to the other two.
Okay, but compared to the other two, it's not even a fraction of it.
Right. Okay, so you have these two giant tuning forks, and they're working the ground. All right, depending on the fissures and the way that the rock is set up, that they're all, have their foundation stuck into, the building was probably moving quite a bit. The thing is, anybody that was in it isn't going to be able to tell you how far the buildings were moving because they're all hamburger. They could have had a good 20, 30 feet of sway at the top of the towers. Probably more than that after getting hit. So you have these two giant, tuning forks just flipping back and forth. Yeah, titanium and magnesium do burn very hot. But the other thing, all right, people like Rosie O'Donnell says it's the first time that fire's ever melted steel. That's how we make steel, is with fire. She has no idea what she's talking about.
First of all, Rosie O'Donnell's an idiot.
Yeah, she's an idiot. We all agree with that. Okay. But, she said that, and I was like, So that got me into looking into the metallurgy of the buildings. All right. So you have, let's say, 40 million, we'll be conservative, 40 million pounds above the impact sites in both towers. All right. Have you ever worked with metal, like welding, fabricating, using torches and stuff like that?
Okay, Thumper, you know what? There is eyewitness testimony from the firefighters that they said they specifically used the word, it looked like a foundry and molten steel was coming down from the buildings.
Yeah. Because there's gonna be, I mean, like you said, titanium, magnesium, they burn really hot, and airplanes have a shitload of both of those, and they'll burn until they run out of fuel because you can't put them out. They'll burn underwater.
You don't want that's something that I never really thought about. Put two and two together is that the jet turbines are made out of titanium, which is insanely dense.
Yep.
And
lots of the airplanes are made out of titanium. Big parts of it. It's not just aluminum.
No, the engines are made out of titanium, and the fuselages are made out of aluminium. So
the wing spars, the ridges that run down the top of the fuselage that keep the tail and the wing, lined up. Because if you just have it on an aluminum tube, a plane that size, it's twisting, it's moving.
Oh my God, Thumper! It's aluminium. What the fuck?
Well, if you want to say it British, that's fine, but it's aluminum to me. I know how to spell, man.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So,
all right,
but let me finish this up, okay?
No, and I you know what? That's something I never really thought of,
but
putting that two and two together.
But wait, there's more. Okay, have you ever been in a large building with a door? A big sliding door, like an aircraft hangar. All right, when the doors are really wide apart, you could have a slight breeze and you don't even notice it. All right, you have that same slight 5 mile an hour breeze, and you close those doors, they get down to about 3 feet apart. It's like a freaking hurricane running between there, because all that air is moving through that building, and it speeds up through the tight spot. You get 30
it's
feet
building
away,
up the air.
There's no wind.
It's building up the air pressure.
Well, it's lowering the air pressure. It's the Bernoulli effect, the Venturi effect.
Right. It's fun. It's funneling it is what it's doing.
So you have a downwind hole in the building that's conical shaped. So you have the wind blowing through there. All right. And it's speeding up as it's going through, and it gets to the other side and it slows down almost immediately. That's how airplanes fly, is the Bernoulli effect of the wind going over the top of it and creating a low pressure zone, and the wing lifts it up from the air pressure underneath it. That's how planes fly. You have the same thing happening with the hole in the buildings. You have high speed air. The air speeds up. What happens when you feed a lot of oxygen in a high speed situation like that to fire?
It heats up really quick.
And it burns a lot hotter. So you've got the titanium, you've got the magnesium, you've got the fuel, you've got all the stuff that the people were carrying in their luggage and all the other crap in the entire part of the airplane, which is a lot of flammable crap. You have all the flammable crap in the building. All right. And you have multiple floors on fire. So the fuel's everywhere, and it's just like ripping through this hole.
Oh, okay. So you know what? Let's get down to the base
all it has to
question
do
here.
is anneal. It just has to anneal the supports. You got some of them that are bent, and then it anneals it. And then you saw the top of the first tower click just a little bit to the side, probably a good 40 feet twitch, and then it came straight down.
So, Thumper, do you believe that 9/11 was an inside job, or it wasn't? It was the terrorists.
It could go either way, man. I mean, all the bullshit that they've pushed on us because of that. I mean, I have friends that are Arabs. I was engaged to an Arab back in 90 to 93. Okay. So I know their religion. I know their culture. I know the way they do things. They're different sort of people. Would they do that? Yeah, they would do that. I mean, they tried to blow it up in 93. Right.
Oh yeah. We
WTC.
Yeah, we know about the bomb in the basement. Yeah.
And they attacked us 9 times under Clinton's control, and we did nothing about it. USS Cole and everything else. Right. Oh, nice.
Oh, is it getting
trying
that
to
time,
get me off? Trying to get me off.
So are we running through the videos now?
No, you guys could talk. I'm just run through some of these. Good.
You know what? Let's do it.
I can do this with chemtrails too, because I can explain weight and the aircraft and how high you have to fly. where you make contrails and where you don't. And if you see like a contrail that's like stitching across the sky, it's because they're right at the threshold and you hit a hot patch, then a cold patch, then a hot patch, then a cold patch, because it's not uniform. So if you're at the right altitude, you're stitching it. And if you're a little bit higher than that, you're making a really long contrail depending on how much humidity's up there. It's all dependent on how much humidity.
Oh, Billy, that last girl was quite talented.
Yeah.
Yes, she was.
I like this one, how she just like switches stuff.
Yeah. Although
I still like girls, man.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, right.
I mean, somebody that knows a lot about aviation is going to be every conspiracy's worst nightmare.
right there. I mean, come on. She's showing some. That's like right up her. That's right up her honey hole there.
Pretty much.
I love how none of this shit is going to get you flagged.
Oh my.
And you can show the Pop Nobody video.
Yeah.
So wait. So speaking of moons, I have to get back. Because I'm just fascinated by.
Yeah. So we got to talk about the moon.
I gotta finish it with the moon because I gotta know where your head is at. So, what is the moon? You say it's a projection. Where is it being projected from?
I don't know. I can't answer that question, but I can tell you this. It's not terra firma. You can't go there and actually land on it. We never went there at all. It was even Stanley Kubrick talked about it back in the day, and he did all the effects for it. If you look at any of NASA's moon footage, okay, it's a bunch of garbage. And two, you guys know about the Van Allen radiation belt, right?
Yes.
Okay. Apparently, we can't cross the Van Allen radiation belt now, but back in the 60s when we went to the moon, it wasn't a problem because they didn't know about it. So NASA's just making shit up.
So, okay. Let me ask you this, because you say you don't know where the projection is coming from. So what about like the moon being in like paintings from, the 1500s or the 30s? Do you think they had technology back then to project the moon?
You know what? That's a really good question, Billy. Because if look at the Muslim flag, right? You see, right. There's always in the Muslim flag they have the crescent moon, right?
Right.
And it's got the star in the middle of it, right?
Right.
Okay, and you can actually find pictures nowadays of the moon that stars are actually coming through in the moon. That's the reason why the Muslim cross has the crescent moon and the star in it, is because you can actually see through it. So to me, that proved that long ago that even our ancient cultures knew that you could see through the moon. It's not terra firma.
That's a stretch.
Yeah,
look at
on that one.
Oh, you know what, Billy? Look up right now Muslim flags and look up how many different countries have that same symbol of the star inside the circle of the crescent moon.
Yeah.
How can you see a star through
stars through the moon?
How can you see a star through a solid object?
Yeah, but that's just a representation.
That's an aesthetic choice. Okay.
Yeah.
The Arabs had almost no light pollution, and it's a warm place without a lot of mosquitoes, so they could sit outside at night and look at the moon or look at the sky.
You don't want
all right? During Holy Month, what the Muslims
Thumper,
do.
Thumper, hold on a second. Hold on a second here, Thumper. All of our ancient people had no light pollution at all. All we had was the fire that was down on the ground, and we could see all the stars. And
fire was enough.
And they recorded all this shit back fucking thousands of years ago. It's probably even further than we know. Maybe 50,000 years ago. It's definitely not 6,000 years ago. And yet they all still share the same symbol.
Because
Okay,
it's
so-
the ideology where all of the Qurans, every Quran is exactly the same.
All
They
right,
have
Billy,
the
you know
same
what?
stuff
Let's
in it, same
just
mistakes,
watch the
everything.
videos of the chicks.
If you want to talk about Islam, I can tell you about it.
Okay, so just real quick on the same on the same theories. What is the sun?
How far away do you think it is, Billy?
I'd have to look it up. I mean, it's quite a distance.
Have you ever driven around and on a cloudy day and seen the sun's light burst through on an angle?
Well, what you mean, burst through the clouds?
Yeah, and directly, showing the sunrise, and you could see the angle it's at. Maybe it's like at a 90 degree angle or whatnot, or a 120 degree angle.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's light refraction and whatnot. I mean, what's your point? Where are we going? What are we doing?
My point is the sun's a lot closer than NASA tells it is.
I think it's a pretty fair distance. But what is it? Is it a projection like the moon?
No, it's not a projection. The sun is definitely real and it has healing properties. We know the sun's light is heat, right? And
Right.
it's antiseptic. So if you put fruit in the sun's light, it will dry it out and preserve it, right? So it's an actual real thing. But the moon's light is completely different. So if the moon is supposed to reflect sun's light, shouldn't it have the same properties? And yet it
How much
doesn't.
do you know about the electromagnetic spectrum?
Never looked into it, Thumper.
You should look into it because it's massive.
Okay, you know what I'm looking into right now is Billy's videos.
Yeah, that one on the pole was like getting my mind off.
Hold on. This one, she's got that ass is definitely.
Yeah, she's got some augmentation, but
she's working out too much.
But I think that's some implants going on there too.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, I agree, Billy.
She's done a ton of squats. Look at those thighs, man. She could crack a walnut with those.
Yeah. We were on this chick.
Yeah, but the electromagnetic spectrum is huge.
She's got the tattooed arm too.
I don't like tattoos like that. It's like putting bumper stickers on a nice car. Speaking of ass. All right, are we doing 20 talks or are we just what do we?
Yeah, we're done. Let's do the videos.
Yeah, but I just put bikini chicks dancing. That's why it's all.
No, let's wrap it up with your normal thing.
The 20,
Billy. Yeah, the 20. Let's go through the 20.
Pancake ones are just like going.
Yeah. All right. Let's just do for me. Let's see what's for me.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. She's doing
No, I kind of like her.
I don't know. He's doing a weird kind of fucking dance, right? It's just some weird movement. Yeah, enough of her. Oh, see, cat videos. Goddamn cat videos.
See, that's why the Earth isn't flat, because cats would have pushed everything off already.
That's a bunch of bullshit. There is no edge. And take the cat to the Antarctica and the government will shoot it.
Oh my god. All right, so that was what? That is 2. Oh, that's
that one
not happy. He's dragging. He wasn't getting any traction there.
He's trying to run with his claws. Oh, Asian
Oh,
girls.
boy.
I feel like I'm in Korea again.
Yeah.
Was it a
God.
K-pop video?
Yeah, they kind of look like sad and depressed, right?
Yeah.
Say like people say, "Oh, go to a different country, the girls will be better," and then you get like sad, depressed Asian chicks looking like this.
Yeah, like there's like no look of happiness on their face at all.
Oh God, look at this goth.
Oh, that is a red flag like nobody's business.
Oh, you think?
This girl's a
Yeah,
poison scorpion.
Beyond. You're
Yeah.
getting into trouble with that one. You just walk away from
It
that
might be
shit.
fun though.
Well, did you
For
see
like
that
5
arm to head
minutes.
ratio? That arm to head ratio. That's a
Arm
big
to head
girl.
ratio.
This guy's like, I don't know, he's selling something. Oh, Thurman. These things are weird, man. Jimmy Page used these back in the day. Yeah.
Is that
Thurman.
like that lap guitar?
No, it's here. I'll have to put the sound up. Can you hear that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, Led Zeppelin used that quite a bit.
Yeah, and what was the song? It was "Whole Lot of Love." He did the Thurman.
Speaking of a whole lot of love, there's a whole lot of love right there in those hips.
Yeah, damn,
That girl's got the thick happening.
she certainly does.
She's got the
Ticlatina.
She's gonna she's gonna pull the pin on the thermonuclear fat bomb though. Just boom.
You know what? If there was a video of her making tacos, which I'm sure she probably can, it'd be a lot more appealing than this.
Yeah, make me some tacos. And a
Here's the
burrito.
thing, though. Here's the thing. I wonder how long it's going to take for all these lefty girls who are like, yeah, open borders and whatnot, and then we're letting in this kind of shit, right?
Yeah, hot Latinas. Oh
yeah,
mama.
and they're going to be like, close the borders.
I can't get laid. There's all these hot brown chicks.
I have a feeling it's going to be a long time before that happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. Latina chicks like us white guys.
Yeah.
Like all these videos, it's just girls dancing.
There's a lot of that. A lot of that.
Hello.
I would say, I don't know if it's quite 50%, but it's up there of the videos on TikTok.
Jesus.
I mean, like, what else are they going to do?
Thumper, are you seeing the arm to tit ratio here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what?
But look at her neck, man. She's not a big girl.
No, but
that's just
pull the shirt down on that, and I bet those suckers are pointing straight down.
Oh, of course they are. Well, you can see where they're pointing. She's got the little
right down on these nuts.
And that's why I don't like big ones, man. I like the little ones because they're, they stand up and poke your eye out.
God, this was some chick just complaining.
Oh my God, this girl's just angry. And what country is she in?
I don't know. European shit. And she's speaking some fucking shit. What is this now? What's going on here?
That's a big girl trying to be sexy.
Like, what was the point of this video?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, somebody's having an emotional breakdown.
Why?
He asked me to make a sandwich. I didn't know how.
I'm a woman.
Why?
He said, wash the dishes. He said, how? You don't have a dishwasher.
Hold on. Wait, you got to hear what she's saying. Hold on. Hold on.
I can't seem to get no dick.
What did she say? I can't seem to what?
I can't seem to get no dick.
Well, do something about that hair.
You know what, Thumper? I kind of like that hair. It's kind of like that.
Okay,
Simpsons.
That, I can
Sideshow Bob hair.
Yeah, Sideshow Bob. No, but like that girl. Yeah.
Is it the same girl though? Wait,
No, I don't think so.
kinda
Different
looks it.
different name, login name.
I guess.
You know, she's got that that Latina, the black Latina Shirley Temple hairdo going.
Yeah,
there.
but you know what? Like you could tell. I
probably
could
a
tell
wig.
she's got filters on. You could tell there's filters going on.
Well, yeah.
So, that's the problem with these apps. They put all these filters on.
I should do some filter stuff. Oh my god, my shorts would be hilarious.
Okay, so this is either a joke. These are a joke, or it's legit. But you watch these. Okay, so it's a 3-minute video, and they're usually just train wrecks. I've watched a couple of them.
Is that like
Is that an actual cake?
Yeah, so they make these, it's going to come out awesome, and then they pull the thing, and then you got to watch like the next video, and it's just terrible. It's just a big, like, shit show, total shit show. So I think that's what this is. Yeah, it says funny. So you sit here and you watch like a 6-minute worth of video, and it just in the end it's just shit.
You just waste your time and you want your 6 minutes.
There's
back.
no payoff, right?
The payoff is just a big colored mess.
It's like going to the strip club and all the girls are ugly and missing limbs.
Yeah, she kind of looks like Angelina Jolie. Oh, that's a high.
That's nice.
Yeah,
I hate to see her go, but I sure like to watch her leave.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's all she brings. That's all she brings to the table.
That's okay.
Yeah,
she only has to stay for a little while.
Yeah, but there was no point. Like, there's literally no point of this video except to look at me.
Yeah, look at my butt. Well, that's girls got to have validation, man, because
Sure
it's
do.
the
they're
attention,
judged all
right?
on their looks. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, I got to turn this sideways.
Okay, I feel like I'm at the Batman Club in Korea. Ask me about that sometime when you're not on YouTube.
The Chinese or the Asian girls, they like to do this dress up shit, which is kind of hot.
Yeah, we like it. That's for sure.
Asian girl in a French maid outfit.
Yeah.
That's just
That's a win-win.
It is. I think that's Japanese. The this looks like Japanese characters.
Yeah, that's kanji.
Beatbox challenge, no thanks. So that's 15.
Oh, hello.
That's a thick old girl there.
I see girls wear something like this. It just automatically brings me back to high school. There was a girl who used to wear these jeans that were cut like this on the side, right? And my friend goes up to her and he says, "What if you wear those jeans when you're having your period and would the blood come out the side?"
Oh, that's awful.
He got pulled to the principal's office.
Worth it. I was an asshole in high school.
It was pretty much the same. And now she's gonna probably playing some Rush there. I was 16.
Yeah, I should work on my Kermit. Because if I work on my Kermit imitate impression,
oh my god,
I also get Jordan Peterson.
Dude, this chick made like a sweater for a
frog,
a knitted frog.
You know what? At least she brings something to the table, right?
Yeah, she can knit you an Afghan.
Yeah, right.
And then the Afghan can watch your sheep. It goes full circle, man.
Oh, what is happening here?
This is gonna get gay.
It's already gay. Is it gonna get gay? It's already there.
It's Billy plus 1 homo suspicion points.
Plus 1?
Just 1.
More than that.
Yeah,
they're best friends.
Yeah, we're just going to go practice dancing. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's a waste of a video.
No man moves like that unless he wants another man.
What is this dude, man? Oh man, inbred family, West Virginia, inbred family. What? Holy fuck! Look at these people.
Damn.
Oh, damn.
My family tree's a sapling. Oh Jesus, that last guy. Good Lord.
Jeez.
Waiting for Leatherface to come out.
Oh
with
man.
his chainsaw.
Man, you don't even need to hear how they speak to know how they speak.
Oh yeah.
What you doing there? Oh man.
All right,
This is
how
like
many more?
slideshow shit. Oh, that
How
was
many
it.
more we got, Billy? Here.
What that was oh man, 17. So this is 18. That's kind of, what is this, 1930s drawing? Who cares?
That was good, actually.
Yeah. This?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like animation.
Yeah,
I
some
used
really
to
good
draw.
anime.
Oh, it's
Yeah, but this is like 1930s shit.
yeah.
That was definitely not 1930s at the
Yeah,
end
it
there.
was, I think a little mixed in together.
I think there was a school shooting waiting to happen.
Ooh, don't, now you're definitely going to get me taken off.
Oh, the deep space field.
Yeah, here you go.
That must
What
be fake, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
What is that?
Yeah,
Bob, what is
fake.
this?
Yep, it's all fake.
are these like flashlights? What do you think, Bob? Oops.
Luminaries.
Sorry.
Luminaries.
Luminaries.
Yeah.
Oh, somehow
You ever
I
heard of
already-
Occam's razor?
Yes.
I like shaving Schrodinger's cat with Occam's razor.
Oh, this is number 20, by the way.
So
That's a
That
white
kinda
girl
like
wanting to
her?
look Asian.
Yeah, but some of these Asian videos, you gotta be careful. They're using filters, and you think you're checking out one chick, and it's really just all makeup and filtered up. Are we going for
yeah.
the bonus?
yeah, let's do the bonus, Billy. We're on 2.5 hours.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah,
What's
right.
going on?
There's
What the fuck are those? Oh, they're fucking hogs. Shit.
oh wow.
Hog's doing a water slide. Oh, that's awesome.
It's got to be like down in Texas or something, Arkansas.
All right, Billy, give us one more with a chicken.
One more? You got to have one more.
Yeah.
All right. This isn't even
What's
good.
ASMR? What the hell's that stand
That's
for?
where you these people. Oh, dude, it's
I
a
know
whole
what
thing.
It's like auto sensory sensory
Oh, just
something.
cool sounds, basically.
Yeah, it's just cool sounds is what it is.
No, but it's not cool. It's a lot of it. So okay, so TikTok at night, like around this time, believe it or not, if I were to really start looking, there would be a bunch of chicks live on here, like rubbing on the microphone, and I don't really get it. SMR. Like they'll be live doing this shit.
Yeah,
It's
look what it
happening.
means though. It's like auto sensory something. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's like
definitely weird ass shit.
It's a big thing on TikTok at night. A
Well,
lot
you know
of
what?
live
You know what it is for me.
Billy,
way that my car
it's big on Twitch too. Like Amrath does
Oh.
that shit too.
I bet. Yeah, it does nothing for me. I think it's. I was actually going to do a video about it, but I just haven't had a chance to put it together because I just ran into this whole these people like clicking and tapping on the microphone. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So,
All right,
there
Rick,
you go.
so
There's your 20. That's your 20 talks. So
Hey,
now
gentlemen.
you need to do an ASMR with your car stuff there. Thumper.
Yeah, except I don't have any big block Chevys.
You don't want Thumper?
Everybody around here has
I'll
small
watch
blocks.
it.
You can hear Pontiacs all day long here.
Guys, I can do ASMR out in front of my bar with all the fucking street racers that go on over the weekend.
What, the pissed off weed whackers with Chief
Oh
Yager?
yeah, yeah, they were out last night. That's for sure. All right.
All right.
Well, Billy, thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming on. It's been fascinating learning some of the stuff that you believe.
Yeah, who would have
Everybody has
thought?
their own thing, right? Everybody's got their own beliefs, and yeah, you know, just let me know, like what when you figure out what the moon is. Just let me know.
Jeez.
Billy, you know what? Look up
No, we're
Eric
not going to go
Dubé.
again. We're not going to go any
No,
deeper. When you
not
figure it out.
right now. I'm just saying, in your free time, look up Eric Dubé and see what your own conclusions are. Because, like I said,
Eric Dubé.
I tried to debunk it myself, and I became one. So
So you didn't ask the right questions, is what you're saying.
no. I went through all. First of all, I didn't even know why I started looking it up. It just come in my side panel, and then next thing you know, I got curious about it, and I went down the rabbit hole, and the rabbit hole took me to the conclusion that there is no curve.
So you're susceptible to manipulation.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, you've already said
But-
it.
But guys, it's been a fun night, fun stream.
Fun. All right, Thumper, just stay real quick. I got to show you a
All right,
picture from the car
All right,
show.
okay,
All right,
guys.
guys.
I'm
We'll
out.
leave it there.
So
Enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day weekend. And yeah, that's all we'll leave it. Thanks for coming, everybody. And have a great rest of your weekend and a great night. Take care.